7 of our Eco Solo No Mod update 11 playthrough. Let's get the title screen off and then get back into the game. So since the episode 26, I played somewhere between 4 to 5 hours. I went and got some trees and I made some wood, hewn logs. I proceeded to had to make more food, of course, because after 4 or 5 hours I'd burned through most of the food that I had. Trying to think of where that's at. I know that's down there. I gotta figure out where it's at. So nothing's going on up here anymore. Everything I did excuse me, is going on down below. So we proceeded to go get some more iron so that we can crush it down and make more iron bars. Other than that, as you can see, just about every stockpile here is full. I've got a little bit in that one. Down below here where we went and got more iron, so every stockpile down here is full, so we can't dig out any more here. As you see, we did expand our road down here to the corner. As you can see how much we dug out here of all that basalt. So pretty much, from where the house was, we went out to where our road was going to be, going down. Looks like we got a couple, I think that's dirt. So we'll have to clean that up. But yeah, all of this area where these 3 stockpiles are, this one, and this one, are all where the basalt was and the granite. As you remember, we had these 3 and this, and then we had the road down. As you can see how much more of this pathway I have dug out for the road. So that is all the digging. Well, not quite. The rest of the digging, we dug out what was here that was in the way of the road. Just haven't moved the clay. Now, the other thing is I started to lay the wood in here for the second layer of our house. This is why we were making all the wood. So I dug out the rest of this area for the second floor. And proceeded to... The only thing I haven't dug out is the actual floor itself. The rest of this is good. Found out that I was 1 tile off on this end. So I did end up digging that out and putting that there. You can't do anything with that right there because that is that little crafting room with the research and the workbench and the tool bench up there. We have to go take care of that at some point, and we'll fix that because through here where this little doorway is going to be that room. So we're going to have a doorway here that we get into through the little research, tool room, workbench. It's all going to be in here. And we're going to enter from over here. And then enter through the house. So what we need to do over here is we need to go ahead and clean up the rock that would be our floor. I know I said we were going to do tree... I know the title screen said we were going to do tree farming. We will. I might actually just finally give up on if the trees are in that next to last stage, not quite to full growth, but they're big enough that we can get enough wood out of. We're going to do it because we need to make the electrical or engineering pages for What was I thinking? Engineering pages for was it cooking and no, it wasn't cooking in that. It was for God, now I can't even think of what I was going to use needing them for. I needed to make these for what? Glasswork. It's for glasswork. So now let's clean up the rock. Come get wood. Now what I really should do is make a iron hammer. So now this is the second layer of the kitchen. This will be a second living room. This is a second bedroom, and back here is a second bathroom. Alright, let's go out of here. We're going to go make a iron hammer real quick, because I want to show the difference between a stone hammer and an iron hammer for laying down wood. So while that's going, let's go back to that. Food. I think our hammer's done, so let's go find it. Alright. So difference between the hammers. Let's get our 30 wood. Now, as you saw with the stone hammer, I can only do single placement or line fill. But with the iron, I can do single, line, rectangular, or floor fill. Rectangular is for like doing the wall. You could start at the bottom and go up to the top. we're going to do floor fill. So from here, I can click it all the way over to here. And just like that, 20 blocks all laid down at once. Or 30, that was actually 30. Now, you're going to wonder, well, I still got stone here in the way, right? It doesn't matter. It will go around the stone. Doesn't matter what's in the way. Means if you accidentally do a single or something else and then you want to go around that, you can easily go around it and it'll still fill in everything else around it. Same thing with what right here. We have this open space, right? We start in this corner back here and then click it all the way to here. Every single one of those will fill in. And just like that. Now I'll show you what I meant with the rectangular. If we went and put wall, and we started here, we go up to there, and it puts it all. So once you get the iron hammer, it is a hell of a lot faster to build. So let's move this back over here. Yep, it's full, so we just need to figure out where we're taking stuff. This 16 can go into that. That can go down there. Don't see that, but we do see this. Oh, we hadn't done that. Alright, so that's seen. It's not seen at all, but. Okay, so we need some place to put. So if we throw it in there, we'll be able to see it for this. So we need to throw it in with the crushed sandstone. And that has nothing. You could see this. What is that, 50? Yeah, let's do 50 concentrate. So let's find that one. Drop that all down there. That'll start getting used up. Now, if we decide I think it's going to be the extra bathroom, extra bedroom, we want to bring down the duplicates of what we have upstairs. So let's go upstairs and make sure we have duplicates of everything in that room. So what we need is a duplicate table, chair in both rooms. We need the wash tub. We need another latrine. We need a nightstand, a dresser, and a bed. So over here we want to make, I mean, we don't, the only thing I think we have extra is the washboard. So we need to make the latrine, the bed, alright, so hewn chair, benches, we need 2. Hewn dresser, we need 1. Hewn nightstand, we need 1. Hewn table, we need 2. And we're going to need more boards. So let's go ahead and make the 38 boards. And we can pull. Gonna have to go move that wood back up. Alright, we're gonna have to move that wagon. I did make 3 more wagons, by the way. That's why you see so many of them. Alright, so we need to bring the wood back. Because we need... Oh no, we did use all the hewn log, didn't we? Yeah, that was in that cart. Alright, so this is where we need to go get more wood. I can pull from it? Yes, I can. Alright, this is where we need more wood. Let's go get our small cart that's over here. There's a big one. This one we're gonna go ahead and use that one. Say we were gonna decide we're gonna cut these down. So all of these over here, if they are not this low, if we actually have to reach up to reach that, we're going to go ahead and chop them down. So this one we'll chop down. Of course, too hungry. This should be too far away. But as you can see, we are going to be able to reach down and drop our wood into here. And that's what I meant about having... Even though the stockpiles are hidden underground, we are still able to reach them from the surface to drop them down for production. Of course, it goes the wrong way. Maybe we won't be chopping all these down because that really did not get anywhere close to what we could have got out of that tree. we only got 28 out of it, and it should be closer to 80. So yeah, we're gonna go find some more trees somewhere else. Let's see about this stuff over here. That's all short. Could do that. We probably won't. This one. It's not full grown. This one is. Well, at least full grown enough. Okay, that redwood can come down. That redwood can come down. That pine or... yeah, that fir can come down. There's another one that could come down. Disappear. Stop rolling. Now, the reason why we're collecting wood is so we can make more hewn logs, both for that lower floor, or yeah, the lower floor, and also for What else was it? There was something else that I was going to do with it. Oh, we're eventually going to need the wood for windmills and water wheels for the engineering pages. Is that full? Alright, the cart's probably full, so let's get a handful of redwood, or actually more of the pine fern that's sitting there. Chop this redwood up so it's ready to go. It's not exactly what I wanted, but that's what happens when you don't have flat areas for your tree farms. We accidentally put a log underneath the wagon, that's why it wasn't moving. I come through our little grove, and this is the other benefit of it being 3 high, is you can go right in between them. So now we come over here to where the cart was originally parked, we place it, and we can reach and drop everything down below. And we'll have to move it over at some point. But we're gonna go collect that redwood that we chopped up. See if we can find another tree that we like. Ooh, this one's good. I hate when they spin. You have no control over where they're falling. Which is why I said when we go to do our flax, and we got those trees that are right next to it, if the flax is not grown yet, then We'll do our cheat method to stop the trees from landing on our flax and killing our plants. Have another one. Yep, we can do that, but we have to pick up that first. And we'll pick up these just in case. Pick up these just in case. There's more mushrooms down here. I mean, it's not a big deal for me because I'm only a single player on here, but... Ooh. Get it to fall that way, stay away from the... wheat. Whenever this one gets broken enough to not be repairable, or not wanting to be repaired, we'll make our iron axe. Oh, no, it was back there. What? Why did you not repair? Did you not have enough? You didn't have enough. I know where they're at. They're too far away to reach. These are supposed to be getting put up here. Yeah, see, this tile that I'm standing on right here is actually where this wall is supposed to be. So until we do something, we can't move these. We got to clear out that other space down below where we're going to make that front little research room. Of course I'm hungry. I didn't pay enough attention. This one could come down. We'll have to start taking some of this wood eventually over to the shipyard to make our hull planks for the water wheels that we need for the engineering pages. Alright. It's full enough. See, you can't get past the tree. This is the only problem with oaks, is the branches. It will block your path when you're pulling a cart. Okay, so those go in there, these go in here, these go in here. Alright, we almost got a full stockpile. Let's go grab the ones that are laying on the ground, then we'll come back and figure something out. So I know we gotta move those in order for the table to use them. Now let's go down underneath. Alright, they're there. I don't think the table can reach those. The research table can, because it's right on the other side of this right here. But considering the carpentry table is right here, it can't reach it. It's just a little too far. So we have to take this and set it over here on this side of the road. Push it back a little bit farther so that the handles are not in that area. Let's drop this in here, drop this in here. Then we'll drop the redwoods. Right, there. Now we get wood beam or let's go upstairs. Alright, so we need hewn logs for those, and we need hewn logs for these. So let's go ahead and do yes. Dowels will do 20. And that gets us 160, because it's always times 8. So we need to decide what we want to do here. Let's go ahead and pull the... No, we're going to leave these up here for now. We're going to dig out what's below here. Actually, we also need to figure out why these are being blocked. I got no place to put it there. That's full. Those are full. It's got no place to put any of that. Same reason. So it's like we need to move some stuff around. Alright, do we have any ability to move anything down here? We got some limestone that we can move this direction. Let's see if we got any more we got any more roads over this direction? Or is it just those right there? Looks like it's just those right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and move this clay, that over to here. Slag we're going to leave there. Can we move this stuff over to here for now? Doesn't get it all, but it gets most of it. You know what? So we don't want to put in here. We don't want to put in there. We want to take from here. Take this and drop it down into the limestone one. Take this dirt and put it down here too. Got one for 2 more. Okay, let's move that clay down for now. Need some place to put that. Yeah, we'll put it in here. Alright, let's move the coal back into this one. Go ahead and make some mortared stone. should only be reading this one, which should be 600. Alright, actually, 971. What else is it reading? That's not full. Yeah, it should be 1,000. Alright, it's fine. We'll fill that in just a minute. 250 is 1,000. I know why the count on those was off. It's because I made that thing. That's 15. Alright, so that's gonna make that. It's gonna use up all of our basalt. That'll clear out a stockpile. Well, sorta. Because we're gonna pretty much refill it with mortared stone, but it's a lot less in this form than it is in the other one. Let's check our... Yep, they're all running. So we need to do something with our crushed up here. It's mostly silicon or silica. Let's see, that's 80. Do we want to? I'd really like to get a module for this. We need some rows that are up above on the main surface that are not down below. So we'll have to figure something out. Let's go ahead and put 40 in here. And then once this is done, we'll go ahead and queue up 100. Alright, so I think we got everything going. Said we were going to gotta dig out this clay. Of course, we break that. How close is that to needing to be replaced? 141. So that's going to drop down to about 120. 118. 119. I said about 120, so I was about right. Dirt, clay. Or granite out of here. That has to go out. Granite comes down here. Sandstone, that could come down here. Where did I miss 3? How did I miss 3? It might have popped to the surface. I don't know how I'm off on sandstone. So I've only been using it to crush rock. So the only thing I can think of is that there's a couple tiles up there on the roof. Okay, so if I'm going to do this, and there's a doorway there. Do we have any wood? Alright, we need this in our inventory because we're going to put it in the bathroom down here. I'm going to put this in. Alright, those go in there, this goes in here. Bring a table out. I have to figure out where the nightstand and the dresser went. But this comes all the way back here into the back and gets placed there. And then we take the table. Put it in here. See if we can find our other other items. They went somewhere. Gotta find them. There they are. We also needed the bed. Boards. We need a latrine. It's going to make another 20 boards. We can't do those until we get something else complete. Alright, so let's go place this stuff down below. Dresser went over here. Nightstand, I believe, was right there. Bench, we got one back here, and we had one over here, I believe. So what we'll see now is that we have bedroom 1 and bedroom 2. Bedroom 2, we just picked up 2.9 points of XP. The bathroom, we're getting, for the number 2, we're getting 1.3. So we're increasing the size of our bonus. Engineering table. I don't know if we have any mortar over here. We'll find out. Nope, we don't. So we have to get some mortar over here. 24. Let's do 15. And we have to move. That means we have to move a total of 45 mortar over. And this can... I think that's below us. Is that one not reachable? No, it's not. So we need to throw that. See if we can reach our wood cart from over here. $45. Got that. Just pull from while we're up here on this floor, let's check out this room. Alright, so we decided to change the way that table sat, but yeah, that was sitting like that, and that's back there, so. We needed 20 more boards for the latrine. Doesn't really matter which direction those are sitting. It's just the fact that they're in there. That's why I want to get some of this gone so that I can bring up that stuff and I can dig more of this and get the stockpiles over here right next to the road and underneath what would be here. Of course, we got no place. See, that's pretty much done, and it got replaced by see if we come around here. That stockpile that had all that in there is gone, and it all got replaced somewhere else. So an entire stockpile of stone got changed to this much mortared stone. Alright, pulling from where? From there. Pull from that. This is pulling. This is pulling iron ore. Now we're making our mortar. Let's pull in that sand first. Let's throw that up there. I'll eventually get down to this one. Got to keep room out of this for since everything's pretty much going into there, from the rockers and and the arastas. It's all going there, so we need to keep that clear. These are both up above. One is on the level that the corn is at, right there by the oak trees. The other one is in the trees that we planted back to the left and right, or left and behind the house. To that grove. Alright, so we did that, we did that. So this one, this 23. Where's the rest of our... This goes in here. And then we need to figure something else out. Really don't want to use any of the other crushed at the moment. That road needs what? 2, 3. So if we go ahead and move these 12 up to here. Salt can't be crushed on this. That's what I was afraid of. Actually, let me check something. How much, if we go get some more coal, we get 1. So we need to bring 36 coal over. So let's go get some coal real quick. So we can get some more mixed rock. $28, $32, $36. Of course, we're freaking hungry right when I need to pick it up. I was hoping we could reach the table, or reach the house from there, but we can't. Really sucks. Too hungry to place it. We'll get us 3 crushed mixed rock, and then we can take that and throw it over in that stockpile, or what, in the tiny stockpile, so that we can finish our roads up above. Oh, an hour 15. I didn't even realize I'd been going that far. So, right now it's just a matter of doing that. It's getting the wood in order to make the rest of the stuff that we need. I'm not sure where our hewn logs are going. Probably into... Alright, that just went there. So we're starting to get hewn logs somewhere else. I can't tell. But we'll come back to this in just in the next episode. Like I said, I'm just going to start burning through stuff if I can. The iron that we're going to make is going to be start turning into wood or into nails, and then we're going to get a lot more wood to make boards so we can make wooden molds, so that we can start using clay and sand to make wet bricks to get pottery experience. And that way we can eventually move the sand and the sandstone down here up. We'll leave the limestone down here. But we want to keep digging through all this and go further this direction. Because as you can see, we are only right here. So we have like 2 more spots this direction behind this stockpile that we need to dig out. And if we can move this sand and the other stuff, I mean, we got some granite there we can move. Like I said, we got plenty of stuff to make mortar or sand or whatever. So we want to get to making the bricks, so that'll be in our next episode. Because we got clay down there that we want to dig out of where the road goes. We got clay in the cart over there. We need more wood to finish our flooring in those other rooms. Along with making boards for molds. So I will see everyone in the next episode. And until then, enjoy your morning, your afternoon, your evening, wherever you happen to be.